What's going on, everybody? It's Brandon from Authentic Boerboels here with another video of breeder tips. Today we're going to talk about kennel necessities. So I'm gonna go over pretty much everything that you kind of need to start your kennel out, that you're gonna need probably on a daily basis. Just the typical things. First, I want to start out with kennels. So with kennels, if you have Boerboels, you're going to definitely need kennels. You know, if you got smaller breed, you can get some cages. The split cages is what I typically use so that way when I have puppies, young dogs, I can put 2 in one cage and save me some money. At times, cages are about like $100 per cage. But my kennels, I get a lot of questions about my kennel setup. My kennels that I get them from Lowe's, their Pet Sentinel brand. And then I've also got a couple from a store that we have here called Menards, around like $300. Easy setup. I think they're 6 feet tall, 4 feet wide, and 8 feet long. So they're a pretty decent size. They get the job done for what I need. Because the main thing you want to do when you're first starting out is spend the least as possible. Because anything can happen. You're not making any money. You're not producing any litters. Nothing's coming as promised. So spend as least as possible is my advice to everybody when you first come in, because anything can happen. You know, vet bills are a bitch. So always keep that in mind. Yeah, my kennels, like I said, are like $300, 6 feet tall, 4 feet wide, 8 feet long. It's plenty of room for a Boerboel in my eyes. I mean, I know you can also go a step up and get the bigger ones. I don't know the exact measurements, but they're like 400, 450, something like that. That's what my brother uses. His are a decent size, you know, especially if you got 2 full-grown dogs. But, you know, my yard's not the largest, so I got to, you know, bear with what I can right now until we move, because I plan on getting some more land when we move. So, yeah, you want to get, that's where I get my kennels for all the people that ask me about it. The second thing I want to go over is feeders. You can get feeders from Tractor Supply. Makes it easier for feeding, especially with Boerboels. You don't want them to be leaning down a lot when they're eating. It can mess with their feet, their paws, make their paws go outward. Can mess their top lines up and their back, so put that dip in their back. So you want to keep a feeder in there on the front door of the kennel, so that way it's level with their shoulders. That way, you know, it keeps their back straight, keeps their paws, they have to push their paws down straight. It's not making them, you know, stand all awkwardly and stuff like that. Also, I get 5-gallon buckets you can get them from Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply. I just get some 5-gallon buckets, fill them up. I usually empty them every 2 days, because they're not going to drink 5 gallons of water in a day. It's not happening. And then, you know, usually after the second day, it starts being slobber and dirt in there. So I rinse them out and fill them back up for them. They'll drink more typically during the summer, though. But right now, where it's starting to cool down to be, you know, wintertime, they're not drinking as much water as they would during the summer. Then I get horse mats for all my kennels. So where my kennels are 4 feet wide and 8 feet long, the horse mats I get are 4 feet wide, 6 feet long. So it leaves a little bit of a concrete area, because my whole backyard's concrete. I did that for the dogs because I got tired of the mud when it rained. So like I said, horse mats are like 4 feet wide, 6 feet long. So I push them towards the back. That way the dogs can be in the very back. And then it leaves a little bit of an area in the front for the buckets of water and the feeder for them to eat. So it fits perfectly in the kennel, because like I said, the kennels are 4 feet wide, 8 feet long. So you got 4 feet wide and 6 feet long mats. Works perfect. Easy cleanup. Also helps with the cleanup, good on the joints. All that gives them a padded area to lay. So it's very easy to clean. I love it. I also recently invested in some little 1/2-gallon sprayers. I tried to get the gallon ones, but I couldn't find them. I found the 1/2-gallon ones at Tractor Supply. They're like $10. I got 2 of them. One, I'll put some bleach in it, fill it up with water. You know, then I'll get another one, and I'll put like some Fabuloso or Pine Sol in it, fill it up with water. Separate ones. You don't want to combine chemicals, so 2 separate ones. And then I'll go out, and once I get all the poop out of the kennels, because my dogs poop in their kennels typically, or pee in there, whatever mess is in there, I clean out. I'll sanitize it with some bleach, and then scrub the bleach in there with a bristle brush. That way it gets all the, you know, any stains or anything left over, it gets that. And it's, you know, sanitizing the mats and stuff like that. Then I'll rinse it out, get it rinsed out real good. And then I'll go and usually spray some Fabuloso or Pine Sol, watered down Fabuloso or Pine Sol in there. Make sure, you know, just let it sit for a little bit, and it just gives it a good smell. It takes that pee aroma away, or just any dog aroma, you know, it helps out. So it takes that away, makes it smell a lot better in there. I even sprayed around my yard a little bit just to, you know, because they pee everywhere. You know, they drink water all throughout the day and they're just peeing all the time. So that helps. Then I get bug repellent during the summertime. I always keep some bug repellent to keep flies off my dogs, because they'll eat your dog's ears alive and just lay on them and stuff like that. I got tired of that, so I got bug repellent. Keep that during the summertime, or some bug traps, some fly traps that catch all the flies and attract the flies. Make sure you keep them away from your dogs. My dogs, I had an incident where my dog got a hold of one and busted it and ate it. So that was a scare, but luckily nothing happened, you know. Then dog food. You want to make sure you find you a dog food and stick with that dog food. Don't change their dog food a lot, because then it's going to make their stools, you know, runny and stuff like that. You want to be consistent with the dog food. Find one that all your dogs pretty much agree with, and go with that and stick with that. I typically like Victor, and then I went and switched to Diamond High Energy, because Diamond High Energy is like the most cost efficient right now, but not terrible quality, and it's not, you know, it puts good weight on my dogs. Also, especially during the winter, I need to put weight on them, you know, because it's starting to get cold out, and you know, so they're outside majority of the day. I bring them in at nighttime, and Diamonds works pretty good. I mean, for the cost, it's like $38 for a 50-pound bag. You can't really beat that, you know, with no litters coming in. I haven't had any litters lately. So, you know, for cost wise, because like I said, don't spend too much money, because anything can happen. You have to be cost efficient with everything. So it works out. I know a lot of breeders that use it, and, you know, works well for what they got going on. For to feed 8 dogs, I'm running through about 100 pounds of dog food a week. So I buy 2 bags of Diamond every time I go to Tractor Supply. And, I mean, it's working fine, and they seem to like it. So that's what we've been sticking with for like almost about, I think about 8-9 months. So yeah, and it puts good weight on them, good, you know, high calories, decent amount of protein, all that. You also want to make sure you have some good leashes. I use a double leash because I walk like 2 dogs at a time. Sometimes I really walk like 4 dogs at a time, but I walk like 2 dogs at a time, you know, depending on the dogs, because some of my dogs pool, so I have to walk them individually. But most of the time I use a double leash. It's like a 2-sided leash. I don't remember how much it was. I want to say it was like $30. It wasn't too much more than the single leash. Another thing you want to make sure you always keep on hand is heart guard for your dogs. Keep heartworm away. Treat them with that every month. You can get some flea tick, frontline flea and tick. I use that, you know, quite frequently. I use, whenever I give them a bath, I give my dogs a bath every other week. I usually use a flea repellent shampoo. That way it keeps all the fleas away. You know, if there is anything on them, it keeps them clean, and it smells good. I need to find a picture of it, and I'll put it in this video if I can. I'll put it right here. And then also keep a dewormer, a good dewormer on standby, because you could have an infestation of worms out of nowhere. They could catch them on a walk. Sometimes it could get brought into your yard somehow, some way, from, I don't know, some unknown source. It's happened to me before. It can happen to anybody. You can get supplements for your dogs. I get supplements that have vitamin C in it to help with my dogs, so make sure they're getting their vitamin C. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And it also helps with their bones and joints, the bone and joint growth. So that's just a preference thing if that's what you want to do. That gets costly too. I mean, that's just another thing that brings it, but hey, you got to pay to play. That's how it works. Raw feeding. With Boerboels, a lot of people do raw feedings. I used to feed raw until I got up to like 5 dogs. After that, I was like, nah, I'm done with this, because it was costing so much money. But when I was doing raw, I would go to like a Save-A-Lot. That's our store that has deals. They have like a 5 for $25. I can get 5 packs of ground beef for $25. So I get like 5 packs of ground beef, 5 packs of steak, 5 packs of liver, eggs. I put Greek yogurt in there for them. Another trick that I've learned from Melinda taught me this. A trick, if your dogs are having runny stools, go buy some plain yogurt, not Greek yogurt. I can't remember if it was Greek yogurt. It's either Greek yogurt or just plain yogurt. Feed that to your dog for 3 days. So you want to hit him with the yogurt for 1 day, 2 times a day, because Boerboels eat 2 times a day. Then hit him again the next day with a little bit of food, you know, and then put the yogurt on it, just a little bit of food. And then the 3rd day, do it 1 time in the morning, and in the evening, feed them just the kibble. It's gonna clear them loose stools up. It worked for me. I was amazed by it. Also, back to the raw eggs. It's a great source. It's great for their coats, especially them black ones. The black Boerboels is great for their coats. Keeps them real shiny and nice. The raw meat helps keep their teeth real clean. Helps put a lot of weight on Karma. Whenever I was feeding Karma ground beef. Sorry about that, guys. I had a little glitch. My phone cut off on me. But yeah, the raw has always done good for my dogs. They love it. I give them chicken quarters, chicken drumsticks, and stuff like that. Do not cook the chicken. You know, just always just give it to them raw. And just, I mean, because when you cook them chicken bones, that's not good for their digestive system. It can poke their organs and insides and stuff like that. So make sure you just give them to them as is. It's not going to hurt them. Just clean them off if you want to. That's what I usually do. I clean all the chicken real well, wash it off, and then I give it to them. And another thing I also recently invested in was some cameras. I keep a camera in my whelping box when I'm whelping puppies. That way I can always keep an eye on them. I have cameras out back in my backyard so I can see all my kennels. I can see all the dogs. I know what they're doing at all times. I can talk through the cameras. If I'm not home and they're just barking a whole lot, I can tell them to be quiet. And they usually don't listen, but you know, sometimes you never know, it might work. But, yeah, like I said, I was just doing a quick video for you guys today to remind you to be cost efficient when getting everything for the setup for a dog kennel. Spend least as possible when you first start. After a while, after you've had a couple litters and got some money rolling in and stuff like that, it's fine. You can do whatever you want. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys for today. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, I'll holler at y'all.